Oh my god, dude. What is all that stuff?
I don't know, dude. Hold on, let me check it out. That's rat poop, dude. That's rat poop.
As you know, I bought the coolest BMW ever made, but it happens to be the worst BMW ever made because it is incredibly expensive, the most unreliable BMW, and it's all gonna be worth it because of that beautiful V10 power plant that we are going to have a lot of fun with. But the problem is, we gotta make it run. In the last episode, we got the car running. It wasn't running well, but it was running. We're gonna make sure that that engine is running perfectly fine and try to figure out everything that's wrong with it. So first things first, let's get the code scanner. Let's figure out what's wrong and we'll go from there. Okay, so let's pull this piece off. Anyways, if you look, you can see we got the ABS light is on. Got the thing plugged in. Got the car is in the on position, but not obviously running. We've got the low tire pressure. We got the ABS light. So what the weird thing is, we don't have a cog. Now there's a yellow cog, which means transmission failure, and a red cog, which means transmission failure. We don't have either of that. So I have no idea why the transmission doesn't engage, but we have no codes saying anything about that. We do have other codes though. We do have a check engine light. So we got cylinder 8 misfire,
Okay.
cylinder 3 misfire, random multiple cylinder misfires, cylinder 2 misfire, cylinder 6, cylinder 5, cylinder 8, and back. So
Almost the entirety of every cylinder.
yep. We have new spark plugs and coils that we're going to install, hopefully getting rid of that problem. If not, it'll be something else that's, I'm sure, expensive. So you could look right there, that little AT is for the automatic transmission. You got nothing. No codes.
Nothing?
Yeah, no codes.
What?
And we're not getting the transmission thing, so
It's probably something stupid.
I have no idea what it is causing the car to not engage, but we'll focus on that later. Let's first just get the car running right, because I hate running it with all the misfires. Just asking for something to break. Okay, obviously first thing we gotta do is disconnect the battery. We don't wanna screw things up. This car's already known for having a lot of electrical issues. Okay, another problem with the car is that the struts don't work. So try to lift up the hood and it just keeps coming back down. So I got this big metal rod.
Oh,
That should work.
all right.
Luckily, thank God, they didn't put the spark plugs underneath. They're right here up on the top. We do have 10 of them to replace, but it shouldn't be that hard to get to, because if it was down here, I don't know how we would have been able to reach them. Okay, first thing we got to do is start disconnecting some of this stuff. So like these very important sensors, disconnect them. And then now you can tell Lenny's pulling off these little parts to the airbox. And then I got to get this top layer off as well. I'm noticing a lot of rat poop all right here. So that's not good.
Okay, there we go. Look at that. That is the first airbox, which, wow, looks really clean inside. Look at that. It actually looks pretty good. And yeah, the filter doesn't look that old either. A little dirty, but not too bad. So we will put these aside.
I know this car looks really, really beat, and it is, but it's been serviced by BMW its entire life. It's had its good servicing throughout its high mileage. So, you know, that's one positive side to this whole mess.
Okay, so we got to move this little overflow box because you can't get to the rear plugs. So there's one bolt. I'm going to disconnect these lines. Not too bad.
Droplets.
So we can kind of set these out the side.
Oh, now it's coming out.
Okay. So like BMWs are known, these little like plastic lines, like you like breathe on them, they burst open. It happened to be my Beamer. So I like to be extra careful. So it's already missing one of the bolts. There's a bolt supposed to go right here. So that's a really good sign when your Beamer's already missing bolts.
Holy cow, guys. Would you look at that? I don't know if you guys can see how much rat shit there is right there, but that's definitely not a good sign when you're already dealing with one of the most notoriously unreliable BMWs with tons of electrical problems, and you have that much of a rat problem. I mean, it looks like this rat ate Taco Bell and just like unloaded on top of the engine. Now we got to remove each coil and its corresponding spark plug. So here's the first one, as you can tell, definitely used. Okay, we got most of the coils out on both sides. We just have that back one, which is hard to get to. So we have to remove this whole component. So I pulled out the cabin air filter. As you can see, I've been just throwing all this crap on the ground. The weird part about this car is that based on the appearance and the condition of the car, it seems like the car has been abandoned. It seems like it's sat in a field for like 20 years, even though according to the Carfax and everything, it was running just a few months ago. So I don't know what's going on, but it is dirty, and we're just gonna try to clean all this up.
Damn, dude. So this far back one, all the way in the, I don't know, what's that, cylinder 10?
Look at that, dude.
That gave us so much problems. Okay, if you don't know, if you're not familiar, that's the one that we pulled out. That's what it's supposed to look like. So yeah, this thing's trash. Okay guys, so we have 9 of the 10 coil packs out. Look at this last one. It is giving me absolute hell. I mean, it looks like I've been chewing it off with my freaking teeth. There's really not a whole lot to grab onto anymore. So I've become very creative, and I'm still trying to figure out how to get it out. It's in a really tight area, so it's an absolute bitch. All right, here we go. First plug down, we got it out. It looks kind of crusty, not the worst. But I got this sweet borescope. You can stick the camera down inside the cylinder and check her out. That's the top of your piston. Is that a crack? It looks like there's 2 little dashes right here. We'll have to see. Either that's a imprint in the cylinder or you have a 3-piece cylinder. Hopefully not.
We got the new spark plug gaps ready to go. Just put it in here, and it's gonna fall out as soon as I do this.
I would just shove it down in the hole first. Inserting that baby in there.
I'm trying to thread it in and not cross thread it, you know. It's a little tricky when you have a spark plug fit in so deep down there.
Super fine thread.
I think it's in there.
Yeah, I think we're good. Oh my gosh, when I say this took me 30 minutes, look at that thing, dude. I don't know why it was so sealed in there, but we can finally do the rest of the spark plugs now.
Okay, we got most of the spark plugs out. The rear one's a little tricky, and that's why I got this bendy boy right here. As you can tell, I have like 360-degree movement from this thing, so these are the kind of contraptions you need if you want to work on a BMW. And we're just doing maintenance right now. We're not doing anything crazy. We're just changing spark plugs. So this is how you do it.
Okay, so spark plugs all in and tight. Now it's time to put these new coil packs in. So pretty straightforward. You kind of just jam it in there. It's got these really nice green grippers that kind of do the trick. And BMW is so kind to give us some little guides right here, so you can't mess it up. It's pretty simple. Kind of just wiggle it in, press down. You hear that little snap? Okay. And the way this thing works is kind of cool. You kind of half press it in and then push the switch down, locks it in place. And there you go, you're done, just like that. So I'm gonna finish up the last 3 and we're good to go.
I had to disassemble a lot of plastic, and since so much of it is just so filthy, I'm gonna clean them real quick. While we have a lot disassembled, now we're gonna do a little bit more fixing. Now this might not solve our problem with the transmission, but it might, and if it doesn't, it's a good thing anyways because it's preventative maintenance. So I've got this relay right here, about 15 bucks, and it's incredibly important for the transmission to work. Sometimes at around 100,000 miles, these relays just go out and then the car will leave you stranded. So if this doesn't fix our problem now, at least it'll be preventative maintenance. So all you gotta do is take this little piece off.
Holy shit, dude.
And it goes somewhere in there. And I bought another $15 preventative maintenance. So in total, $30 of preventative maintenance, 2 relays that are that usually go out around 100,000 miles on these cars. So I'm gonna replace both of them. Maybe they'll fix the transmission problem. I don't think so, but who knows? We're gonna do it anyways. So let's find out where these things go. Got it out. So that's the green one. I gotta replace with this new green one. And if you look at the old one looks almost identical. But who knows? A lot of heat exposure.
They break internally.
Yeah, they break. Okay, so both the sensors have been replaced. This was the old one. As you can tell, the cap came off. I don't know if it's damaged. It looks like it's in pretty good shape, but not good that the cap came off. Hopefully we fix something. If not, at least we know that's one less thing that could break on this car. That's one of 100 items that can break. That is now solved. We just bought ourselves another 100,000 miles without the relay problem. So, fixing the rod bearings? No. Fixing the Vanos? No. Fixing the relays? Yes. Okay, spark plugs are done, relays are done, things are cleaned. So now let's start putting everything back together exactly how it was before. Since we're in the middle of it, I bought a new set of cabin air filters because the old ones were all grimy and gross. So extra horsepower, baby.
Well, the engine is pretty much completely reassembled now. So all that's left is, well, to start with the car. Noah just reconnected the battery, so fire it up. Well, it sounds a little bit better.
It does. It doesn't sound as bad.
But there are definitely some noises that I can't explain. Stop! Noah, stop. Dragging the chalk, dude.
It moves. It does move a little bit, but it's like having trouble. What is that? What's going on?
I mean, you literally got it to move like 3 feet. And the motor sounds a lot better. Doesn't sound great, but it sounds better.
It must be low on fluid.
I don't know.
Stay tuned for the next episode.